My mom begged for $3,000 for emergency surgery. Then I saw her partying in Vegas. At 2 p.m., my phone rang, and it was my mom, sobbing so hard she could barely talk. She said the doctor found something serious, and she needed surgery tomorrow morning. My stomach dropped, and I stepped outside so I could hear her. I asked what kind of surgery, and if she was safe, and she kept saying it was complicated. Then she said insurance was calling it elective, but if she waited, it could turn life-threatening. She told me the hospital wanted $3,000 up front, or they wouldn't even put her on the schedule. I could hear her sniffing and papers rustling like she was sitting in an office. For 8 months, I'd been working double shifts, saving every tip, because my old Honda finally died. I needed a car to get to work and to campus, and that money was my whole plan. But it was my mom, and she sounded terrified. So I said, "Don't worry, I'll send it right now." She got quiet and whispered that she loved me, and that I was saving her life. Then she said, "Please don't tell anyone yet. I'm embarrassed, and I'm scared." I opened my banking app with shaking fingers and hit transfer. $3,247.83. Every cent I had. I refreshed the app twice to make sure it really went through. Seeing that tiny balance made me feel like the air got sucked out of my lungs. She cried harder, telling me she raised me right and she'd pay me back as soon as insurance fixed the paperwork. I asked what hospital she was at and what doctor was doing the surgery. She said, "I can't talk. They're calling me back," and hung up fast. I went back inside and forced myself through the shift, trying not to panic. On break, I ate cold pizza, feeling sick but also proud I did the right thing. Then my cousin Jenna texted me, "Yo, your mom's in Vegas." I thought it was a joke until she sent a screenshot of my mom's Instagram story. I opened Instagram myself, hoping Jenna was wrong, and the story was right there. My mom was in a sparkly dress, holding a tall stack of poker chips, grinning like a kid. The story was posted 45 minutes ago, and the timestamp showed it went up 37 minutes after I sent the transfer. My chest tightened, and my hands started shaking again. My face went hot. I screenshotted everything. The story, the time, my bank receipt, and our texts about surgery. Then I called her. She answered in a bright voice like nothing was wrong. In the background, I could hear loud music and the ding-ding sounds of slot machines. I said, "Mom, why are you in Vegas?" She went silent so long I thought the call dropped. Finally, she said, "Honey, I can explain." I said, "Explain what?" I reminded her she said surgery was tomorrow, and I'd sent my savings. She rushed to talk, like she was trying to get ahead of me. She said she had a system, and she was going to double my money and surprise me. She told me, "You'd have gotten back $6,000 because I was doing it for us." I said, "My future isn't a game. Where is the money right now?" She laughed a little and said, "Relax. I won and turned your $3,000 into 8. I asked, "Then why didn't you call me? Why post this?" Another long pause. Then she admitted she kept playing because she felt hot and didn't want to stop. My throat went dry and I asked, "How much is left?" She said, "I still have some." I said, "Say the number." She whispered, "About 400. Then she added like it was good news, "The night's young and I can feel another jackpot coming." I couldn't even yell. I just hung up and my hands went numb. I sat outside the diner and stared at the ground until I could move again. Then I called my bank's fraud line and told them what happened, step by step. The rep asked if I had proof she lied to get the money, so I sent the screenshots while we stayed on the phone. The rep went quiet and then said, "Ma'am, this looks like fraud, and we can open a dispute on the transfer if you act fast." They started the reversal process and gave me a case number. An hour later, my mom called back, not crying, but screaming. She said I was ruining her, ruining the family, and that I had to help her because she was my mother. I told her, "You chose a casino over my life, so don't ask me to cover for it." The next morning, I woke up, opened my bank app, and saw the deposit back in my account. All $3,247.83 returned. My phone lit up with my mom calling again, yelling that the bank froze her, and that I'd done this to her. I looked at the balance, took a breath, and ended the call. Now my family is saying I chose money over my mom. Was I wrong?